All right, how's everyone doing today? And welcome to my channel. This channel is for educational purposes, and we check into great theories, concepts, and discoveries that you might not be familiar with, things that have been suppressed and otherwise hidden from your purview, things you might have to do a little bit of digging to get to, um, both mentally and emotionally. And this is a segment that we have called the Q-tip of the spear, where I look at the coverage of the cutting edge of the InfoWar. Some various podcasters that I appreciate, although I do not always agree with. And I have a lot of disagreements these days, um, because I see the patriot movement really kind of self-destructing. Um, and it's along entirely different lines than most people think. Most people are saying that everybody's dooming out, or people are, um, you know, involved with all this clickbait and are having trouble keeping it together with all the crazy news. But it's not that. That's ancillary to me. I'm more in more concerned with the cutting edge of the movement, the core of the movement, the most informed. Um, and unfortunately, I see the most informed people in this movement as normies. It's like, uh, no matter how many psyops they uncover, no matter how many ops and false flags and hoaxes that they become familiar with, they can't seem to apply the same rules to their religion. I heard one podcaster today just talk about, well, it's, you know, you have to have a moral code, uh, in order to really conduct a society. And as far as I'm concerned, it's either Jesus or not Jesus, as if Jesus is the only moral code out there. And, but, you know, even more unfortunately, that the moral code of Jesus was written by the Romans. The Romans are the true authors of the New Testament. The Caesars of the Flavian dynasty of the late first century. They wrote the New Testament as a psychological operation against the Jews. The Jews had been a big pain in the side for the Romans for over 100 years. And the New Testament was kind of like the Romans' Manhattan Project to, uh, you know, detonate a nuclear bomb on the Jews. And really, the radiation has lasted all the way up to the present time, um, because the Christian movement has completely hijacked the Jewish scriptures and has completely occluded the Jewish way of life and many of the Jewish people. Um, it's very much as if the Romans really succeeded with this psychological operation. They, the Jews revolted in 66 AD against the Romans, leading to a 7-year long war in Judea. And um, the, the nascent Roman emperors, after the war was over, were veterans of this of this war, and they launched this psychological operation against the Jews to get them to mellow out because there were all these self-proclaimed Jewish messiahs who were revolting, because that's what a messiah does for the Jews, is a military commander to help deliver the Jews from their, imperial power, whether it's the Romans or the Seleucids or the Babylonians. And the Romans instead wanted to write a story about a Jewish Messiah who was a Prince of Peace and believed in rendering unto Caesar what is Caesar's, walking the extra mile and turning the other cheek. And so these Jesus and not Jesus values that you're talking about that are so valuable to have a moral compass in the world were actually, which is valid, but they were actually written in the first place as a psychological operation for social control to get a group of people who were being very rebellious, to get them to get with the program and assimilate with the empire and just to be docile. So you have to ask yourself the question, is this a moral code or is this docility? Um, could be a little of each. The Romans borrowed heavily from many different pagan belief systems when they put together this religion that they called Christianity. It's a limited hangout. They have to put a lot of stuff in there that's going to be righteous just in order to get people to believe it in the first place. So there has to be edifying and um, moral compass type material within the Gospels, within the New Testament, because Paul is even more deferential to the Romans than Jesus is, which is hard to do. And both of them are thoroughly critical of the Jews. Jesus overturning the money tables of the money changers, castigating the merchants selling the small animals. These are all Jews that he's going after. Telling his Jewish disciples to abandon their families to follow him, calling the Pharisees a den of vipers. And then Paul goes on further. So this is highly, highly unlikely behavior for Jews to be pro-Roman and anti-Jew. So that tells you something there. What tells you more is that the Gospels are written in Greek, which is a language that wasn't really used very much in Palestine, not nearly as much as it's being used in Rome, and that the Romans in the first century created like half a dozen other religions as well for psychological purposes. So it's not even a unique thing. And it fits in perfectly, Christianity, with all the other pagan religions of the time that used the formula of Son of God who incarnates and comes down to earth and does miracles and healings and other wonders, and then is unjustly killed and rises back up to heaven. This is the formula for all of the pagan heroes or legends from India, Japan, China, Egypt, Persia, Greece, Rome, and even Judea. And so this is not a unique story. This is not a moral compass. This is a psychological operation. And if you look at it closely, especially if you look at the work of Josephus, the Roman Jewish historian, and compare it with the New Testament, um, then you can see that um, whoever wrote Josephus also wrote the New Testament, particularly the Gospels in this case, because the epistles were written in a later period, even though um, so this whole thing for the Romans to write all the Gospels, the epistles, the Revelation, uh, s- several revelations, um, uh, the Apocrypha, Gnostic Gospels, and so on, um, spanned over a few generations, all the way from, say, 60 AD up until 135 AD. And then the whole thing continued. All of the bishops of Rome were related to this Roman emperors, the Flavian emperors, and you know this goes all the way down till today. And the commander in chief um, is related to these people. I'm sure that he knows that Christianity is fake, and he's pandering to you, um, waiting for you to tell him that you know, and then maybe he'll come out with it. But until then, we got a like dog and pony show going on where, I would just say that my advice for all the Christians out there, everybody, all the patriots out there, is you need to do another dose of red pilling, because you're not ready to implement your agenda, and that's what's going to happen because you're going to win, um, but you know your agenda is not suitable to move forward. It's a psyop, just like everything else is. That's the thing. You got to add it up. It's like it's basically the same as Santa Claus. Somebody had to tell you that Santa Claus wasn't real. But then you look at it dispassionately over the course of some time, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, I guess that's pretty obvious, isn't it? And when you hear that the Romans are the true authors of the New Testament, I mean, it's like, of course they are. Everything's a psyop. It's turtles all the way down. You know, I know what a psyop looks like, and the New Testament is exactly what a psyop looks like. Okay, like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and share. Share with these tip of the spear people, because uh, somebody's got to hear this, because this is a viewpoint that is not being given in this movement. For 10 years, I've been participating here, and um, I have never heard this point of view. So, even though there are a dozen books on the subject. Um, so anyway, um, like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and share. Thanks for tuning in today, and tune in tomorrow for another episode of the Q-Tip of the Spear. Have a great day.